Hey there everyone, this is Samar Srivastav and you're watching the Daydreamer Show. So this new year brings new beginnings to everyone. So this is our new schedule for the Daydreamer Show. We are going to cover one topic each every month, and by the end of the month we are going to do something beyond. So without further ado, let's visit our first stop. So we are going to travel all the way from our dream house to our first stop, which is 1 point perspective and eye level. Perspective in itself is a very huge topic, so we are going to cover it in parts. First we are going to discover 1 point perspective and eye level today, and then we'll jump on to 2 point, 3 point, 4 point and so on. So this is our very first stop. Let's begin. 1 point perspective and eye level. So before we jump to 1 point perspective, we need to discover what's eye level. Eye level is basically how you perceive an object once it's above your eye level, below your eye level, or on your eye level. So first thing we're going to draw is an imaginary line which represents the horizon, where the sky and land are supposed to meet, but they don't. It's an imaginary line. The eye level is positioned at the horizon. Now, if we draw a cuboid above the eye level, we would be able to see its bottom surface and the left side, like we are drawing over here. And we will be shading just to differentiate between the surfaces. Now shading the bottom surface. Similarly, if some object is placed below the eye level, like this one, we would be able to see here the top surface and the left side again. Remember to complete each object fully by also drawing the lines which are not directly visible from the front. The perpendicular and the base are always in the 90-degree angle, and every other line is supposed to meet at the vanishing point. Vanishing point we will be covering at 1 point perspective. Similarly, you can draw one object on the left side and top of your eye level. Here we would be able to see the bottom and the right side and the front side of that object. It's not necessary that you need to try it with just cubes. For a basic knowledge, you can try starting with cubes, and then you can transform these cubes into different objects. For example, here, notice that I am also drawing those lines which are not completely visible from the front. Why? Because it helps us to understand where we'll be able to place the back legs of this table. Similarly, we can draw a hollow cube as well, something like this one. It's very simple. You just need to draw the inner lines and shade them accordingly. Sorry about the hair. Recording perks. Now we are going to shift on 1 point perspective that we understand the eye level. Starting with the horizon, we are going to place different objects in distance in this 1 point perspective. 1 point simply determines that it has one vanishing point where everything appears to vanish. So we are going to mark these reference lines so that we can create what we want. I am going to start with some straight cylindrical rods over here. it appears something like a pole. To draw the second pole, we can just estimate the distance between the first and the second one and draw it according to the reference lines. Now the third one is a little bit tricky. The distance between the second and third one won't be the same as the first and second one. To determine that, we will see the center of the second pole and draw diagonals. Where the diagonals meet the reference line, there would be our second pole. Similarly, the other poles would be where the diagonals meet, and the distance becomes less and less as we move towards the vanishing point. Once you are habitual to drawing it, you would be able to estimate distance between every pole without drawing the diagonals. So I am placing some electrical wires on these poles. Now we are going to try to make a human figure. To make a human figure, we will start with a box. A simple box. Divide it into 7 pieces. And join it to the vanishing point. This will give us a reference of how long and how wide the object will be. Notice these lines that I am drawing in the box. It's very important to draw them like these. I'm drawing the skeleton first to determine how it would be standing. Now I'll make the armature and complete the sketch. Now this is a very important part. How will you understand the distance between the first and the second one? Simple. You drew the reference line, mark the place, and draw a parallel human figure wherever you want. So this brings us to the end of today's topic, which was 1-point perspective and eye level. I hope you could connect to it. Now we will be moving towards our next topic, which is 2-point and 3-point perspective. See you next week. So while we're moving towards our next stop, I would recommend you watch some of my previous videos as well. They are as much informative as this one, and I'm sure you would find something interesting in them. Goodbye.